You're such an asshole.
The sun is out. Cappy's solar panels are charging. I can do laundry. Oh, a lot of excitement. And I think the internet gods are good. Let's get to it before they change their mind. Dear Mr. Clary, could you please do a Clary test on Diane Feinstein? I think she is getting a 4. Name your price. Sincerely, Rushiel. Well, I can almost tell you because we had a little bit more conversation and correspondence. And you said she's the one that the Clary test was made for. Right. I mean, there's some people who just stand out. Now, the original Clary test was created for Mark Dayton, who was a former governor of Minnesota and the grandson of the founder of Target / Dayton's. And I, growing up in Minnesota when he was governor, it's like, look at this pussy. Look at this worthless sack of shit. I do mean that. Governor Dayton, you're a sack of shit. You're a worthless human being. He's never worked a day in his life. And many years ago, I remember when the Democrat Party was the party of the workers. It was the Labor Party. And even have labor parties in other countries, but that was our version of labor. Now it is a trust fund party. The Democrats do not work. And I've seen it in my lifetime. They went from the working party to the lazy sacks of shit trust fund baby, or kids living off of a fake disability claims party. And so like Mark Dayton, but Diane Feinstein, she was in office longer than I was alive. Our current president right now, Joe Biden, he's never worked a job. He played football in college, hot diggity. It applies on, you don't have to be a Democrat. I'm just pointing out the hypocrisy. The Bushes, obviously. I think the last president we had that actually worked for a living and put himself there, didn't come from wealth, was Ronald Reagan. But you could, and all I wanted to do was come up with a very simple test. Say, would I vote for this person, regardless of what their political party? I mean, would I even consider it? And then I look at their platform. But the majority of the problems this country and others face is like Argentina. I haven't paid attention to Argentine politics since the 90s, but I'm like, wait, the lady who was the wife of the guy, the previous president, like their version of Hillary Clinton, is the president or was the president. Now I guess the libertarian guy won. He'll be there for 2 hot weeks in the parliament with their equivalent of Democrat trust funders with the free shit for the people. Why are things so expensive? It's a very quick litmus test that even you dumb, low IQ motherfuckers in the United States watching your television shows with your liberal arts degree, even you guys could understand this. But then you probably realize, but I'm that. My parents paid for everything and I didn't work hard. I'll vote for free money again. Maybe this time it will work. Why are things so expensive? So let's go through it. And Diane Feinstein is one of the, born 1933, September 2023. So she's 90 years old. American politician who served senator for California from 1992 to her death in 2023. A member of the Democratic Party, she served as mayor of San Francisco from 1978 to 1988. All right, so I take it back. I was 3 years old when she started her politics. So what is it? 33 to 78. So she joined when she was 45. A San Francisco native, Feinstein graduated from Stanford University in 1955. She was elected to San Francisco Board of Supervisors in 1969. Okay, so I take that back. She was in office longer than I was. So let's just look at the age. This is like Ocasio-Cortez. She was born in 33 and 69. So she was 26 years old and ran for office. Don't tell me this bitch didn't have wealth. Don't tell me this woman had any intention of working hard or working a real job or being any kind of self-supporting adult. And I don't know what the hell is going on. Well, 69, I mean, San Francisco, all the boomers. You guys hate the boomers, but boy, you sure subscribe to their political philosophy. San Francisco, 1969. How's that working for America? And immediately became the board's first female president upon her appointment in 1970. 78 during a third stint as the board's president. The assassinations of Mayor George Moscone and City Supervisor Harvey Milk drew national attention. Feinstein succeeded Moscone as the mayor and became the first woman to serve in that position during her tenure. Blah, 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 blah. All right, we don't have to go on. So I want to know, what did she we know lifetime politician. She's already got a point against her. What did she do? She was a politician not only well beyond what she could ever serve the society with, the population, her constituents, which none of them really do, Democrat or Republican. But she was such an arrogant, I want to use the C word so bad because it really describes her. It wouldn't be a derogatory state. It would describe her. She was so about herself that she didn't care if it helped the Democrat Party. She was starting to lose it. There's something sick and wrong that happens to these people. I've pointed this out many times about Hillary Clinton and Nancy Pelosi. You choose your lifelong career politician. Don't you want to go spend time with grandchildren? Don't you want, this can't be fun. What are you doing? Really? Okay, 60. All right, fine. Maybe if you started late, maybe you want a seasoned person as president or one of our higher. Okay, all right. But after 70, what are you doing in public office? And you, just to show you how warped their values are, how ultimately arrogant, mentally ill these people are. If I'm 70, I'm in the last inning of my life. I'm not working for you fuckers. I'm not going to be a politician. I'm not serving the people. Get the fuck out of here. I'm going to go fish. I'm going to go get some redhead tig old bittied whores. I'm going to have fun in the last decade max of my life. This worthless woman just kept on going. Nancy Pelosi couldn't do the speakership anymore and I'm still going to be a congresswoman. Why don't you have, and they don't, that's the whole thing. They have no human connections, none. They have no value. And you could see it once you point it out, it's like they came from wealth. They never had to work. They have no value. There's nothing, nobody likes them in their own family. Probably divorce, all this other stuff. And so I guess this is all they got. And before they get, and fuck the population, fuck the country, it's more important that hang on. Feinstein, oldest sitting senator. Yeah, wasn't it Strom Thurmond? Wasn't he one of the old timers too? I remember, I think it was 98. Like, dude, get out of here. Born to Daniel Emil Goldman, San Francisco she was born Emil Goldman to Leon Goldman, a prominent surgeon. There you go. There you go. There's your wealth. Nothing good comes from spoiled rich kids. Nothing. And Betty Rosenberg, a former model, immigrants from Poland, and because it's just so important what their ethnicity is. She has a bachelor's of art, and now she has a bachelor's of arts in history. Okay, so she was one of those original wokey girls who's like, I'm going to save the world and help the planet. Those girls in high school just, I don't want to work for a living. That's her. There's a mayor ago. This is in Minneapolis. You could look up. I forget it was the mayor before the current one. She was from Wayzata, rich parents, and she was going to help out all the minorities in Minneapolis. How'd that work out? They don't care. I wish I could convince you Democrat normal people that they don't care about you. They really don't. And it shows right here, she majored in history. Now, I have a boomer clause that any degree was a good degree back in the day, but I'm still going to penalize her for it because it just shows she had no intention of working. So she came from wealth, so she's weak and sad and pathetic, right? She verifies that and confess. Here's you go before God, the Lord, and you state your vows in front of family and God at a wedding about what you're going to do. And then half the time women say, yeah, about that. I'm bored. And so people state in front of society whether or not they intend to work, and it's what they declare their major to be. They declare very clearly to you, am I going to be a producer or a parasite? And she obviously declared very clearly she would be a parasite. She was not going to work. Atrophy possibly because of complications of I don't care what. God, I think we got it all here. Well, I mean, the only thing left is if she ever held a real job. Like, did she work as a waitress? Did you join the military? Something like that. So we have came from wealth, worked career politician, worthless degree. The only thing is, what'd she do? Okay, from 55 to 56. So she's 22. She graduated. Yeah. So right out of college, was a fellow at the Coral Foundation in San Francisco, an organization that provides young people with political experience. What? Right off the bat, you got a 22-year-old bint that thinks she's going to tell the adult population of the world how to live. And you let her. You Californians let this disgraceful, worthless, vile thing lead you. Surprise, surprise, San Francisco's the way it is now. Shock. This is an adult child. I don't care if she lived to 90. That still was an adult child. You let an adult child have this much power and control over California politics. It is not a shock. It is not. I'm not even trying to be edgy or like, ha, 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 look at you. The reason you have people shitting in the streets and crime and filth and a borderline dysfunctional society in San Francisco, but California to a lesser extent in general, is directly tied to not just Feinstein, other people as well, but she is definitely partly responsible for it. But she's not responsible for it. The people who voted her in are. What do you expect when you let adult children? I bet you we did the same thing with Gavin Newsom. I bet you that little pretty boy Floyd hasn't worked a real job. Not with that hair. And that's it. We don't even have to go on anymore. We don't have to go on. And it probably irks a lot of you, maybe even some Democrats, that someone like this just never worked, never did anything hard or worthwhile in life and had yet such success and all. But it's not just a silver lining. It's true. Do you think this gal was happy? I'm not even going to go look at how many times she was married. Look, this is an adult child who never worked a day in her life. And you got to think about such an ideologue where all it was her political power. And to see her hometown, ground zero for an experiment with American socialism, go to shit, literal shit in the streets. And then to constantly want to have such warped priorities that you were clinging on to a congressional seat until you were dead instead of spending time with family? I don't know, you want to call it the curse of the Democrats or whatever, the curse of the career politicians. These people are miserable. Nancy Pelosi is not a happy woman. Hillary Clinton is definitely not a happy woman. Like let's say I want to run for president and I didn't win, I'd be like, yeah, okay, I ran. All right, now I'm going to go do some other stuff. I would never run for president, but I'd never run for public office because fuck people. But let's say for whatever reason I wanted to, and I didn't get it. I'd have a lot of things to fall back on, not for careers, but for purpose and meaning and value in life. And I'd go hang out with my nieces, or I'd go fishing, whatever. You guys know. These people have nothing else. That's all they have is their little popularity, is their little childish, and it doesn't jive with the real world. It does. That was not a happy woman. Nancy Pelosi is not a happy woman. Hillary Clinton is not a happy woman. Joe Biden, I don't think he knows if he's happy or not. Maybe he is. These people are not. Donald Trump, who isn't a career politician, I'm just saying, do you think he's happy? All this shit, all these people, you think Vladimir Putin's having a good time right now? I don't even know if Putin is necessarily malicious, but man, I find these career politicians. Oh, the mayor of Chicago, don't envy the mayor. Mayor Jacob Fry, mayor of Minneapolis, don't envy. You don't have to. Just rejoice in their misery. Because instead of working hard towards things in their life that ultimately matter would make them joy in life, they wasted their entire lives. So certainly Diane Feinstein, because she's dead now. That was it. That was the politicking and the dick sucking and all this other bullshit you got to go through. No. And I wish I could find the article I wrote. It was called like the eulogy of a leftist. I can't find it. this wasn't a politician that died. This was an activist in some major metro, I think New York, and she died tragically early of cancer. And when you read through the eulogy, it was just a resume of failure, essentially. She was born Jewish and fought back against the patriarchal doctrines of the Jewish faith, and then she became a lesbian, and she would fought for these rights and those rights, and I'm like looking at her, I'm like, she looks poor. She would never really held positions of, she was a very activist person, full of anger and rage and hate against what I don't know. Reality, I have no idea. And then she died. That was it. That was her book. Born, probably wealthy. Dad probably was a disciplinarian or something like that. She revolted, and her entire life was fighting against common sense, tradition, heteronormativity, or whatever the phrase is. Like, okay, fight against that. Have fun. Fight against the sky being blue. It's usually the default setting in humans. Not always, but I don't know when you want to fight it. And then, boop, gone. Yeah, I don't know how you guys score your life. Society wants to score your life. How many cars do you have? And what's your master's degree? My scoring in life is how little time did I work for other people. That's about what percentage of my life was I doing what I wanted to do. And I think I'm putting up some pretty good numbers. Gonna be big numbers. Scares little children and little monsters. Save it for the scarefuller, Randall. I have nowhere near the wealth of Diane Feinstein, but holy shit, am I way richer. And you are probably too. All the fuckwits on the Chicago City Council and their current dipshit mayor. I don't care that he is like the biggest public school pussy teacher in the history of public school teacher pussies. The dude's miserable because his entire life has been avoiding work, and now he gets to go hang out with his own pirates in his own thief den. So yeah, don't be a miserable Democrat. All right, we get super chats, new super chats. That's it. See you guys later. Toodles.